Great and beautiful morning, afternoon, and evening to you all, wherever you are joining me at this moment. Welcome to 223 edition of Investdata Trading Academy live with Ambrose. Globally, the market is still very mixed as we speak now. Just as major markets of the world are reacting to improve in yield. Most of the investment is given to the fixed income instrument as a result of what expected hike in rate as a result of what the previous inflation data we have seen that that supported rate hike from the Bank of England, Bank of Central, EU, ECB, European Central Bank, and also from Fed. These are why I think that the stock market is mixed as we speak. If you look at the US stock market, we are seeing that the index has moved on the downtrend or what we call close open lower this morning in that environment. And also the same thing also in the Eurozone. Eurozone also was seeing a pullback also in their major indices in that climate. It tells you that investors are looking at what to see at this moment. And the good thing is that the earnings that are coming in this environment are still impressive. But you know that what we call sentiment and also looking at how to play safe haven for by investors, most funds or cash or what we call flow are looking the way of what going to low fit haven because of what the treasury yield has risen. And that is why we are seeing that the market is a bit cool or flat at this morning. Like I said, we're seeing the market open on the lower direction as a result of more interest rate hike that is expected due to the elevated or kind of rising inflation that would have been reviewed by the data. But also the strong domestic economy of this domain is what we're also considering because I said it yesterday that if the Fed continue to also hike rate, that also will also make or kind of signal likely contraction in this economy because rate has a way of what of slowing down expansion of any economy because cost of fund will be high. But I believe that these are what we expect to balance going into the future, and I believe that once this is done, we might see another flow of funds. But the good thing is that the company results are coming there, and that is why investors are really focusing on what on dividend and why some funds are moving toward the fixed income for those that want to take a risk at all. But I'll tell you that trading of stocks in this market are really for me is really just beginning because this early trade hour. But we believe that going to the full day, we expect to see what but as I said earlier, this hour we're seeing a flat a flat and a kind of a slowdown or seeing the market looking in the southward just slightly as a result of what I said earlier, trying to react to inflation and also the yield environment in the fixed income space looking a bit good. And for those that want to go for safe haven, want to really go there and see what they can take from it. But as I said, the China economy is not looking bad. We believe that that also has a way to support the world, the global economy. I was also seeing that the Nasdaq indices, index for as a result of seeing the communication companies over there also posting impressive numbers. I said earlier, we expect also going to play out like the Nasdaq index. But let's see how it goes. The market is just opening. Let's see further into the day and see how this trend will be. But for me, investors should not panic at all at this time. I know why I said so because if you look at the US market is still mixed, and that of also European market is in that state. In Asia, Asia has been a market that before now has been on the uptrend, upbeat, but we're seeing that the volatility we're seeing is also playing out in that space, in that region. But if you look at Africa market now, it's still mixed. But the good thing is that the NGS here has also opened powerfully in the green. We're seeing more stocks on the gainer start, and also result that also hit the market. We're seeing an improved dividend when we compare it to the prices of this stock. We're seeing the market reacting positively to this result that are hitting the market, which we're going to discuss at the cost of the day. Oil price we saw a little pullback, kind of trading as speak now, trading around the 82.17 dollar at this hour. We can see that it continues to oscillate, and that's why I said the oscillation of the oil price is also the way of impacting inflation. And don't forget that Ukraine and Russia things are still there, even trying to escalate. But I'm happy that China is trying to go into it, calling for ceasefire, and also trying to also provide how peace can return to that region, to that zone. If that happens, that will be for the benefit of the whole world, which I believe that other world leaders also go in that direction and see what China is trying to, knowing that China has a relationship with with Russia, and if you can start procuring a peace now, I think other it's opportunity for other mature economy to come in so that this thing can also be resolved on time, and that also support the global recovery. Because if this war in Ukraine and Russia linger more than this, it goes as the war of affecting or slowing down the global world expansion. I think it's a time that I believe that the world leaders, the 7G or the G7, all it's called, all them should weigh in and see that peace return to world to this zone instead of spending their energy and their resources, buying weapons and they will know that yes, the weapon and all those support as you also kind of engaging market of this war related defense service and all those products and all those machines that we're seeing. But I think peace is for because when there is peace, you cannot think of progress. I believe that if China is making that move, I believe that other world leaders also go in that direction so that we can give the global economy a direction, and that has a way of trickling down to all other economy across the globe. Yes, back to Nigeria. Yes, our market here, I will tell you that our market is so resilient no matter what is happening in our political space now. I think that the market keep on going, moving up in the green direction. Like I said yesterday, market is still maintaining in that what we call a bullish channel. Still making up after market have broken out the 55,000 mark that touched even this morning as high as was almost 504,410. It tells you that this market is still moving up. And why? I told you that earlier that there's a change in what a change in pattern, and that is why when we said pattern repeat itself or chart repeat itself, yes, it works most times, but at times there's factors that can change that sentiment that you expected before. That is why you must look to your words, to your chart, to read the sentiment and the perception of the people in the market. That is why, as a successful trader or investor, you must not to compare your words, your technical, your fundamental, and your sentiment. And also, you can go as well as going to what is the perception of the people, which the sentiment also help you to get. I believe that this is what you use to balance so that you won't be missing out in a time like this. But as you speak now, as the market has gotten to this level, honestly, as I told people that are calling me that this market is not for traders as to speak, but this market is for income investors. That means for those that have entered the position at this hour, when you see the market moving up, it's opportunity for you all to cash up for your profit. Like I said, don't fall in love with the up market. As we are seeing market directing in up direction, those that are buying now because this is the peak of any season are buying are income investors that are likely to wait for the period, even when there's a pullback or correction, they're likely to wait, take their dividend. But for you and I that are that are trader, the market is already at the peak here. Whereas momentum is very, very strong. But those that have entered early know what you are targeting. Once you meet your target, cash up your profit. And those that are also want to take your dividend and stay because as you speak, if at this point of the whole scenario in the political space, we are seeing that our market is still very, very strong like this. It's just concerning that something is happening. Like I said, that if the capital market is a leading indicator and we're seeing that there's policy change, we're seeing gradually in the economy, that might tell you that at the end of the election per season and we get it right, any policy that will come might also go in that world to support this one thing, and that also make the economy also to start. That means we expect to see a better economic performance if all things being equal after the election. Policy will come from this government or they come with the incoming government. Another thing is that I tell you that you won't see progress unless there is peace. Yes, that means for all of us that are in Nigerians, as I see what is happening today, I think it's the time for us to to preach peace wherever we are, so that if this peace is sustained, we cannot think of what one Nigeria, and we expect that whenever that comes, we also will be able to work to carry the energy I saw in the voting period to work to make Nigeria move to the next level. If that is sustained and that is achieved, I will tell you Nigeria will chart a new course, and that also will be the benefit of we that are long-term investors, traders in the market, and all. And at the end of the day, your investment will be good for it. And this also expect I expect that it will help every investor what to make informed decision. For that, there is no cause for alarm as we speak now. Yet, before I go into looking at what the market is doing, Want to quickly look at the numbers that were just released to the market recently, and I'll tell you some came this morning, some yesterday. For these numbers, let's look at it together so that we know get a sense of direction from the number. Then we'll now come back to look at the live market and we'll continue from there. I want to quickly look at the first number here is WACO Lafarge Africa. Lafarge Africa number will tell you this is a missed number, but the good thing is that this company maintained what a positive top and the bottom line. Despite that the bottom line is still what I call a flat number in terms of bottom line. But I tell you, this also has supported a payout. That's why also the payout is still remain flat compared to what they pay two times last year, the 2021, when they did interim of 1 naira and final of 1 naira. They are coming now this time with 2 naira at once. That means they've tested the dividend payment and it didn't work for them. Now they are coming back for a final dividend. If you look at the gross the turnover or the revenue or the top line, whatever we call it for WAPCO, we say that the top line was up by 57.3% up, moving from no, from 293.09 billion to 373.25 billion for 2020. You can see that is a good, for me, that's a good move. Say that this company is expanding. That means this market was saying in that industry, you can see that the number that came from all this one says that something is happening in that space. You can see that all their top line, that means they are eating into new market for their expanding, and also their price has also remained up. They have not further increased their price, but I know that last 2022 there was price increase, but we're seeing that same price what we are running. But I believe that going to the future, as activities increase forward for the infrastructure drive for any government that is coming on board, that was how we were supporting them. But I'll tell you that this company, from what I've seen, they are efficient, and despite that the sector is capital intense, we are seeing some efficiency in what they are doing. But they need to also make sure that they double up what their bottom line at the end of the day. If you look at the what we call the PAT, in this number, which is profit after tax, that every investor, you and I, or traders are treated, but that will determine what will come at the end of the day. So that the PAT moved from 51 billion to 53.65 billion. That's just 5% off. You can see almost the same thing that we saw in Dangote, 8%. Also, we saw in Boa. Now, you can see that this is almost the same pattern of result we are seeing. But because of the price of WAPCO will become more attractive for investors and industry because of what the high dividend they are paying compared to the price. Because I'll tell you, if you look at what Dangote is selling and what Boa is selling, Boa is almost a theory of Dangote today, and that is like your dividend of 2 naira 80 kobo will give you almost a 6 naira dividend in WAPCO. That is why I see WAPCO price even as a result of 2 naira, even flat from what they paid last year. The market is still responding to it. You can see that it's moving up because they are looking at what the gain you get in terms of the other. I told you earlier that the market now is for what? For income investor. I know that this high cap little investor, the PFAs, they are long-term investor. They don't mind taking dividend and also going to support them at the end of the day. That's why we are seeing activity in that stock. That's why the dividend they paid 2 naira, there was no growth. See, market is reacting to it. It's one thing that you also consider. I also look at the 20 naira, the Dangote paid for store I said almost 18 naira. That's about that will give you like almost getting to 10 or 9 of WAPCO times 2 naira. That's almost like 18 naira or 2 naira or that 20 naira too. You can see why there's kind of demand for WAPCO stock. That's why investors should understand all this when you are taking your investment decision. Also, if you look at the EPS, which from 53.65 billion, it translates to 3 naira 33 kobo against 3 naira 17 kobo. And if you look at the profit margin, it dropped from years from 17.4% in 2021 to 14 point, it dropped from 17.4% to 14.37% in 2022. And dividend payouts at both accumulation, they bringing putting them together for 2021 is 2 naira. The final they are paying this is 2 naira. That makes that stock for me, it's a good one. The earnings remain in green, and I believe that they still have potential to expand. If that happens, I believe that will support the price of Apple. Even hitting 30 naira this time, for me, it's very possible. That's why those that are entered that are traders, look at the price they enter and what's expected, and always know when to take profit is very, very important. Yes, we move to result from Nestle. Nestle result for me is also very, very impressive. And it tells you that Nestle has mastered the game in this nation, and this has a lot of what multiple product line. I'll tell you, no matter what is happening, the economy, nearly all their products are like essential products for those that are aging, those that are coming newborn, and also the middle class, and all this for that, despite the high cost of living or low purchasing power, people are still consuming cars. You can see the company in that kind of market growing top line with almost 27%. It says that they master what they understand the economy where they're operating, and that's why I'm not surprised that this company continue to invest here. But one thing that is probably concerned to all of us in the market as regards the Nestle is that the accumulation of Nestle International or leaders say it's possible that when they get as high as 80% or 90%, they are likely to see they need to delist. But when I make inquiry, I've gone out to make inquiry, and they decide that most of the countries they are there that Nestle is not they don't have that plan of delisting. But I believe that they are understand that once they declare dividend, also it's easy for them also to expand their stake in their position in Nigeria. Because if they find it difficult to pull out their return, through because of FS scarcity and what is happening, problem in the exchange market, they were likely to expand their position. And you can see that this year there's a growth in their dividend payout compared to what last year. These are signs that yes, this company is healthy. And for me, for those that are playing defensive, these are kind of stuff you to play with. But I tell you, related business in any cycle of the economy, they are what the thing is going for them because people need to survive. Food is first, no matter how rich you are, no matter how poor you are, we all go to feed. And so whether you are sick or you are old, you need something to keep you up. These are the things we need for and that is part of what is imparting in Nestle result. You can see that their revenue moved from 351.82 billion to 44 to 446.82 billion, representing 27% up as I mentioned. Also, PAT also moved in that direction, also from 40.04 billion to 48.97. That is 22% up for that 1 year. For me, it's a good one for all ramifications. Consider these are what also saying in Investdata. These are the standard to see. And also, if you look at the profit margin put across is also above 10%. For me, it's a good one for Nestle. Nestle target to what to earning per share of 61 naira 77 kobo against 50.51 posted in 2021. And also the company profit margin dropped from 11.38 to what 10.96. You can see for me it shows that this company is efficient. Because you can see that their profit margin is still above 10%. Good for me. And also, if you look at the payout, the final payout, don't forget that it's a company that pay what they pay interest. No, they are paying interest of 25 naira before now, and this has been another final of 36 naira 50 kobo compared to the final they paid last year 25 naira 50 kobo. You can see they have grown their payout almost 6 naira this time. For me, it's a good one for investors to also look at. It tells you that this is what you expect. But if you look at the price it's selling, you might say, oh, it's low. But I tell you, it's a company. If you look at the value also, they are created in terms of people, they are consistent. That is why income investors in this company, they don't go out because they are sure their price is stable because of strong demand for the product and the number they are posting. You can see that their number is very, very strong. It's going to support their price. But I believe that once you start seeing another improvement in their number in the new financial year, try to see the price going up. But I believe that nothing stops this stock going back to as 1,400 that it has been before, or 1,500 before pulling back to the current price of 1,000 and 80 naira. Yeah, the final one here we want to look at is the one that came from Steplat. These are big names that I told you that we expect to see like 15 numbers here. That means between now and tomorrow, we expect to see more numbers coming from what? Coming from UCA, coming from Accra Prudential, Transcorp, and many of them, NASCOM, Dangote Sugar, many of them, and also the banking sector. Those less another thing that will change. We expect to see, apart from Zenith Bank that notify us that because of whether they are still looking at their numbers, they are auditing account process and all those stuff. For others, we also expect to see them, in this before between now and the close of business tomorrow, the first of March. But if you look at the number that came from Steplat also the number is missed here. I will tell you, we saw the top line, it's in dollar and in naira. But we're looking at the naira result, because we're in Nigeria, then because it's a dualistic company, that's why you are seeing that they have in dollar, and also this also they pay out also in dollar. They give us the two number. Like here, we can see that the top line of Steplat moved from 293.63 billion to 403.91 billion naira, projected at 37.156 percent up for the top line for Seplat. But if you look at the PAT for Seplat, there's a slowdown there, so that it slowed down from 46.93 billion to 44.43 billion for the full year, and that's representing a negative 5.3% now. And in that same state, we saw that also there's a decline in what in EPS to 45 naira in terms of what in terms of naira, and the 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 profit margin also is also a bit low. We look at profit margin about 9.8 for the full year against around almost 13 points. You can see that it's a decline in profit margin. You can see it here. But if you look at the dividend payout, this is a company that pay dividend every quarter, and this is one of the most consistent Nigerian company that pay dividend quarterly, and that has also worked with the pattern we see or the structure that will also in mature market. This company paid dividend quarterly, and that's why I said the price will not go because what we're expecting as a dividend as we speak now is a bit relatively low compared to the price because they have paid earlier their dividend in the previous quarter. They paid in first quarter, they paid also in second quarter, they paid in third quarter, and this is the last one that coming for this quarter, and it will come with the numbers we're expecting now, and that is why we are seeing it here that their result here. You can see that they are paying a final dividend of 2.5 cents, and this is what they pay also in 2022 for this same quarter. And for me, for those that are playing defensive, also this way you can look at, and don't forget that we are seeing that the oil price, international crude oil price, where they are to remain above 80, and if that happens, it's a plus for them. And I believe that also the way they are going, you can see that if oil price continue in this direction, we expect to see a better number in 2023. And that is that for those that want to play defensive, even as for this season now, that you want your money to be safe, I think this is also where you can also put your money for defensive. Despite the low payout because of the price and the dollar, you can equally also look at this for what to balance your portfolio. These are the things to consider when you are investing in the market. Yes, on this note, I would say we move toward to the live market to see exactly what is happening in the market. But look at these numbers now. Let's see what is happening in the market, as we speak. That will also give us a guide, like I said at the beginning, that our market is defying all happenings around. People are saying inconclusive election here and there, and the fear of the robot. I tell you that most investors in this market, as part of all this in, and we're seeing that structure have changed. What I mean structure, the holding structure of the market has changed. We're seeing impressive number from the company. I have emphasized on this if you are following me, and also the buying pattern also have changed. And companies that go to pay dividend at this point, they have shown that they have the capacity to grow their dividend, and not that also these are what is supporting the market now. That people are now predicting whatever that's happened in the market, and that's why people are saying, "Wow!" Even though the market is at this point, people are still taking position because they understand what they are doing and also the market they are playing, and that is what we need to also have confidence that when you understand the market, you play with knowledge, you are not tossed up and down, as an investor. As we speak now, the market is reading trading at this point 55,664.34. Market is up by 300 and 300 and 325.62. There's almost no 0.5456% as we speak now in the green. For me, it's a good one for the market now. This tells you that the market is strong. And if you look at the market bread is very, very strong as we speak. We're having 13 gainers as we speak against those 5 losers in the market. It tells you that the market is still very, very strong and it's maintained that upbeat that the market we have seen from the month of November, even from the first day of this year, despite this election season, we're having another election coming in March 11. This first presidential election, and I can see that even what is happening, market is not that market is not in panic. It tells you that there's something market is looking, and you, an investor, should take advantage of it. But for trader, we still want to play with caution. But for those that are investors, say this is your market, take advantage of it because earnings that are coming are good to support payout and also dividend growth for most of the companies that we have seen. Yes, the top gainers, losers as we speak now are Mutua, Multiverse. I'm not surprised profit taking. Also seeing the Flower May, Nigeria profit taking, and also knowing that Flower May is not a December account. I tell you, this is part of what is happening there. After that rally from almost 29 or 30 to 34, the amount of profit again to move to where people are expecting dividend, because this time it's more of what income investors market. Why? Because this dividend, why we traders can take advantage of this moment or this shooting on the market to cash out of what our profit. Don't mean that if you are in profit, you know how to take it. Don't fall in love with top market, as I always I've said. They can see that Champs is also among the losers as we speak now. Also seeing that ROT Briscoe is among them, and they were seeing Sterling Bank sterling down, slightly down little, to strictly around the 1 naira 52 kobo. And see opportunity that Sterling Bank on the price is selling now. But if you look at the 13 gainers that I said earlier, but the top five are still the oil companies. You can see that Miss Oil is still gaining 10% this morning, and also Wando 10% this morning. We're seeing also MC Nichols also 9% up. But also UPDC, REITs also up, and also we're seeing FTN Cocoa at this point at the top gainers. But in terms of volume, you can see that we're seeing volume coming out, in Fidelity Bank at 5 naira 5 kobo, 5 naira 6 kobo, sorry, trading around 25.48 million share as we speak. We're seeing the Trade Bank going back to 27 naira. Good trade that was 20.3 million share, followed, and that we can see Owando 17.7 million share up now, and FCMB around the 4.4 million share, trading around the 460, 480. Good one for FCMB. We're seeing the stock coming back, and also we're seeing also Transport rebounding to around 1 naira 30 kobo with a volume of 4.7 million share at this hour. This market is looking up. For me, it's a good one for our market. Let's quickly go to back to our chart. Yesterday, I drew an uptrend for the chart, and also I showed you the yearly, the monthly chart, and all the stuff. But now this is a live chart for a daily chart. You can see it here. Market still sustaining that momentum, making uptrend. As I told you earlier, market is already doing 55 600 as we speak in the up direction. That's why you need to put your eyes in this market. Market is making an uptrend. Quick one to call up our chart, our indicator, sorry, to look at the market, basically to see the momentum that the market is maintaining. Like I've said, that market is on a high here. We are seeing sign that market is going up, and this sign is a good one for everyone of us that is in the market to look at any time. Once you see this, say that something is happening in the market, and you have to take advantage of it. You can see that our T line is still very, very intact to guide us, because of what we are seeing that the market remain above the T line. Even when it pull back slightly, for a little of profit taking, it has come up and remain up in that direction. And the good thing again that we should look at, when you look at your MACD, I said before that there was a divergence between the index action and MACD, but now we're not seeing the convergence. Also, there's that this is a bullish signal, or a bullish divergence we're seeing, that they are all moving in the same direction. And see the index action moving up, and also MACD turning bullish. Already you can see where the blue one trying to cross the red one. Once this is done, it confirms a bullish trend and market. And also money flow maintained almost reading, even though it's slow, it was a little slow down here, moving that slightly. But market is above, money flow is above 50 to read at 73, 72. For me, it's a strong one. The market is very, very strong on the daily chart. Let's look at the 1 hour chart now to see. On the 1 hour chart, you can see that in the last 2 hours, market has remained in the up direction. You can see it here above the T line. This is money flow, is up and still looking up to read the 85 on the 1 hour. I can see that the MACD remained strongly bullish, strong bullish. What here you can see it on your own eyes. And for me, there's no cause for alarm in the market. The market is very, 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 very strong and intact. Let's quickly look at some few stocks before we round up. We're seeing the Zenith Bank moving up to 27 naira. Want to see what is happening and what is the strength behind this in Zenith Bank, and what the momentum looking like. Is it sustainable? You need to know, and what to do. In the last 1 hour, I can see that Zenith Bank have moved to surpass the last one. You can see these 2 hours, I can see that have moved. You can see a strong bullish candle here, surpassing this. Even this one was almost like a sell position for night at reverse up. I can see that the stock momentum is very strong here. MACD is positive. Money flow is reading almost 96 on the 1 hour chart. Quick one, we come to a daily chart. On the daily chart, the stock have been on the up trend for how many days now? For more than 5 days. You can see when it pull back below the T line across, they have been remaining up since then. And MACD has confirmed a bullish trend, no strong, no position for Zenith Bank. Yet even we are seeing a volume declining and price is going up. It's also a what to also look at as trader or investor using technical analysis. Volume is declining and while price is going up. It also speak to you that what is happening. But the good news is that money flow continue to look up here. It's above 50, 54. For me, is good one for Zenith Bank on the 1 hour chart. Quick one, look at what is happening in FCMB. Let's look at what is happening there. And Fidelity. So Fidelity is the highest traded stock as we speak now. You can see that FCMB has for me on the 1 hour chart, day chart, you can see that it's trying to remain above the T line as we speak. That's why that it has gone up here, gone down, almost touching at 480 today, but we got 480 up here. But today now as we speak now at 440, 45, 450. But it has to can see that momentum here. You can see the histogram here, what has formed. After here, see is coming up. Once this red one, blue one cross that one, that is a good move. It says that there's potential for this stock to support even the 5 naira I thought before. That means an opportunity. And on the strength of their earnings, I see potential in the stock. And money flow is also coming up powerfully, but still below 50, around the 34. Keep your eyes on this stock. Quickly look at the 1 hour chart for FCB to give us a clear position. Yes, you can see that it was in the last green, but still we are seeing a green here, a blue here. But you can see that it has gone outside that 480, 430 now. This is 450, 448 now. So let's watch. MACD here is still bullish, but on the 1 hour chart, trying to slow down, and money flow is slowing down marginally here for the stock. Finally, let's look at what is happening in Fidelity. These are two companies I know that their earnings are standing in the second tier banks on the NSE that we need to also watch. Keep our eyes on it. Let's look at what is happening in Fidelity Bank. Fidelity Bank on the 1 hour chart is still below the T line. You can see that the pullback tries to come up now around 496. That's gone down here to almost 490, 490. Now it's come up to 496. You can see, but also you can see that the stock is still below the price action is still below the T line. It's saying something to you guys. So all this while that's been below the T level on the 1 hour chart. Still on the 1 hour chart, still below the T line. But let's quickly look at what it is doing on the daily chart. On the daily chart, in the last more than 2 weeks, rate has been below the T line. You can see that after touching as high as 6 naira or 610, 620, you can see that this stock has pulled back seriously to almost below 5 naira, and now trying to stabilize around this resistance here, turning support. You can see this figure my customer is resistant for the stock, but this one is now turning what is turning a positive or turning a support level for the stock as we speak. For me, there's still time for this stock to rally. Looking at the earnings that this company has posted, this bank has posted, I can see that also MACD is also giving us a sign that like the what we saw in the FCMB looking up, there's also potential. But here that the money flow is low, reading around the below 50 to also around the 23, 24 is still low, but I see that there's potential for this stock to rebound powerfully back. Yes, on this note, I'll say thank you. But for those that call for the stock to watch as as I discussed yesterday, thank you. And if you are not taking advantage of that, it is an opportunity for you so that you can even have access to all these things on your own at any given time. That also help you to make informed decision as well as trader or investor. On this note, I say thank you and enjoy the rest of your trading day.